After what has been a tremendous visit to Cedar Point earlier today in the upper portion of Ohio, I'm now walking across this swamp to the other side to get to Kings Island. Pretty depressing actually, as the Vibes Bar and Grill, and that was a former name to it. It's since been named something else. But I had many good beers here, and it was an interesting vibe to say the least. We are taking the back route. Why are we here? What is going on? Well, we are walking to Kings Island because the traffic to get in, although now it's completely cleared, earlier this entire road was full of traffic trying to get to the park. Wiser heads would say, okay, well, why don't you just take your car and park there? But for the amount of time that it's going to take for me to get into the park and out by car, I might as well just walk. And I have done this walk before, despite Google Maps saying that it's going to take me 40 minutes to get across. I know that's not the case. I know I can get across much faster than that, even though there's no sidewalk. So don't try this at home, kids. It ain't recommended. I may get arrested. We'll see what happens. Here we go, Kings Island, hopefully soon. So why am I walking again to Kings Island? Well, I can park my car there, and therefore I can enjoy my night. And I think tonight, because of a slightly frustrating little drive to get here, we're gonna have, let's just say, a loquacious vlog. Seems so far away yet, but we'll get there. It's all built up here. But the only problem is, actually, this Buffalo Wild Wings is brand new, because the last time that I was here, Buffalo Wings and Rings. Maybe we'll come back here later on if they're still open tonight. There's no sidewalks on this particular route, which is why I don't recommend it as well. Another reason why it's not really worth parking at Kings Island is, as we're probably about to find out as we pass these trees, just about to come around, that the wait to get into the gate on a busy or hot night can be pretty extensive, especially if you're showing up at, say, the time that I am, just before the peak time. Unfortunately, I'm not getting there in time to capture the overall opening of the haunt, to the grand presentation of the monsters, which, oh, I really wish I was there in time for. Plenty of investment opportunities. I'm not going to be there for the launch, unfortunately. We're going to get there just afterwards. But that's fine. I did capture that very well in the last vlog. So as we get closer to the park, we have this last shoulder. This is the last area that you have to navigate before there is an actual sidewalk for you to use. Understandably, there's no hotels or anything in this section, other than Great Wolf Lodge, which we're obviously nearing. So once you hit Great Wolf Lodge and the Kings Island Resort and Conference Center that we're about to hit, you also hit some sidewalks. And just like that, we are on an official sidewalk at last. Time check. It has been 5 minutes since the start of this journey, and we're almost at the main gate. I'd say we're about 5 minutes away from the main gate. I'll give you a time update as we further take advantage of shortcuts. Maybe not that one. Well, you can see the park is directly diagonal that way. counter to my earlier statement about a potential line of traffic leading into the park, I'm gonna have a bit of a rant. Okay, I deserve a rant, so I'm gonna give you a big rant right now, because I definitely ranted in the car, and you can notice that my voice is a bit raspy. Leading to this park, unfortunately, most people on the road sometimes are a bit of an a-hole. Pardon my French, but it's the truth of the matter. They did not let me actually merge to get to my exit, so I had to take the next exit, which is the south exit, closest to Cincinnati. The problem is that the entry from that side is a much more narrower single lane gate to get into the park. So it was traffic chaos on that side. And in order to get to my hotel, which is just behind us, you have to basically drive all around the circumference of Mason on the other side of the highway. Okay, fine, yeah, so small little thing, missed your turn, you think, no big deal, except after driving all that way to get back over to the hotel side, I was then confronted with the traffic that I was just mentioning at the start of this vlog that was lined up all the way to the intersection I was just turning on. So it looked as far as Google Maps and Apple Maps was estimating, they were saying it was going to take 19 minutes just from my hotel to the gate of Kings Island in car. So that's why we're here now. One small turn is actually costing me about an hour's worth of time. So that's what happens in vlogging life, is that you literally get boxed out and lose priceless amounts of time. Hello, off to the haunt. Time to get haunted. I am. We'll see you there. Now we got to get across, despite there being a sidewalk here, despite there being hash marks there and here, there's no actual sidewalk on that side to lead you to the park. Kings Island, what's going on, man? I need to get to Kings Island. They're even taunting me from their cars. They're like, are you going to the haunt, man? Are you coming or what? This is my favorite haunt pretty much ever, and I cannot get into it. Stay tuned. I think we're gonna cross the street and maybe get into this thing. Finally crossing a crosswalk. That only took 3 minutes. So much for that ETA. This is not I love Kings Island, but not a pedestrian-friendly park by any stretch of the imagination. We're nearing the park, so we're gonna switch, because this has certainly been a rant-filled vlog that I will probably either lose some subscribers or get some based on the truism behind that delivery. I'm definitely freaking out off camera a lot, so fortunately, hello. This is my home park in America. I'm glad to be back. Cedar Point, yes, that's a big park for me. And obviously I had visited there technically, I gotta think about this. I had visited Cedar Point technically first, but then I moved on to Kings Island. And by home park, I mean that I've been here probably technically the most times out of any other park in the States. It definitely has left the best impressions on me overall, even though Cedar Point is about tied there. I do love this park. It has a special place in my heart, and it always has, even from like a long time ago, from like say 20 years ago. Yeah, it is basically my favorite American park because of the fact that when I was 12 years old, I visited it for the first time, and I didn't actually get in. My family came here. I saw Beast in the background. I was not, unfortunately, able to actually ride it because there was a large group of us and it was raining, and unfortunately we weren't able to get in. Lo and behold, 10 years later, here I was getting into the park for the first time, and it left such a great impression that I kept coming back. In fact, at the start of this channel, 3 consecutive trips, so it's been quite a big thing to come here on an annual basis. We're finally here. We're finally gonna get inside. I don't really have much time. There's gonna be 4.5 hours inside the park. And as we conclude here and I near the front gate, I'd say, 3-4 minutes, we're at the gate itself. So 7:20, took just shy of 20 minutes to get here. But for now, that is walking to Kings Island, guys. Definitely check out the next vlog. We're gonna end this one here.
We only accept most major credit and debit cards, as well as Apple Pay and Google Pay. Cash can be used to pay card at any
Okay, so that was quite a setup, and now it's an end, because we can't actually get inside the park with the bag that I have. So that is not going to be a haunt day here at Kings Island. Instead, we're going to go back to the hotel and just call it a day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm very disappointed. I cannot really tell you what else to say. I know that they have new policy and procedures now, but that's kind of a little bit exorbitant. Anyway, it is now getting on to 7:30. You're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Why is he at a creek? Why is he at a creek next to the Kings Island's entrance? Already one dramatic exit down. Okay, so I should have done my due diligence and made sure that the policy of this park had not been adjusted as per the unfortunate recent incidents and many haunts. That will definitely be covered in an update soon. However, I had been to SeaWorld's haunt in Orlando last year, and they had a similar bag policy to what this park has today. And the policy is you need to have only an itty bitty bag if you think you're going to get into this park. I'm supposed to be an expert in this, and I didn't even know that, so take 3 now. They're going to be very disappointed unless they have a car.
There's no bag that tiny.
Well, there's one.